What's going on, y'all? It's Devin back again with another video. Today I'm here to answer a question that a lot of you guys are probably wondering. How do I build my credit? You know, what is credit? How do I build it? How do I get over a 700 credit score so I can go out, get a house, get a car loan, get motorcycles, whatever the heck you want in your life? So I built my credit to over a 700 credit score in less than a year, and you can too, so listen up. All right, so number one, I went to the bank and I said, hey, I have no credit, but I'm trying to build my credit. My goal is to sooner or later one day want to buy a house. I want to be able to finance a car. You know what I mean? I was soon to be coming out of college, so I wanted to be able to finance a car if I needed to. I also like motorcycles. I like expensive stuff, y'all. So I needed credit because cash is king, but when you ain't making that much money, it's hard to come up with $10, $15, $20, $30,000 worth of cash to go out and buy stuff, and you shouldn't, because why put all that cash into a depreciating asset, right? So I needed credit, so I went to the bank and I said, hey, I personally have zero credit, but one day I want to buy a house. So what's the best way for me to start building my credit? Now, at the time, I was 18 years old. I was a junior in college. We'll get to that later. Some of y'all like 18, junior. What is this dude talking about? I was 18 and I was a junior in school, and I had a year and a half left of school left, right? So by the time I graduated, I wanted to have over a 700 credit score, because I knew the first thing I wanted to do once I got my good job was I wanted to go out and buy a house. Went to the bank and said, hey, I have no credit. I need credit though. So they basically set me up. They ran my credit, saw that nothing was on my credit because I told them I had no credit. And they basically said, this is what we can do for you. I'm going to offer you a secure credit card. A secure credit card is basically a card that you put your own money up on. So I had to put my own $300 up on that card. And basically, it was a card for me to use to build my credit. So it was a credit card, which I could charge a certain amount every month, like you do a credit card, but it was my own money backing me. So the bank wasn't taking no risk, because it wasn't they $300 that I put on the card, it was my $300. So I took $300 of my own money to the bank, and I said, all right, I got my $300. And then they said, okay, cool, we're gonna put this $300 on this card, and then you should charge up about 30% of it every month, but pay it off at the end of the month. So I said, all right, about 30%, give or take, would be close to about $100. So about $100 every month is what I charged up on that credit card for about a year. And I checked my score. I'll probably check my score about 6 to 8 months in. And about 8 months in, I was creeping up towards about a 700 credit score. And then after about a year, I was over a 700 credit score, y'all, with a secure credit card. Now, credit, as you guys probably know, is basically something showing your ability to pay back your debts. When I went to buy this house, what I didn't know was I had thin credit, meaning the secure credit card was my only source of credit ever. So with that being said, I never had car insurance in my name. I was always able to get car insurance cheaper by putting it in my dad's name and then paying him every month. I've never had any phone bills on my name, because that kind of went the same. And then once I graduated, I got a company cell phone, so I never had to have any cell phone bills in my name. I never had to have utilities, because I stayed with my parents. And then at the apartment, it was in my girl's name, so I ain't have to worry about that. So I had no credit, y'all. So the secure credit card was all I had. So they told me I had thin credit, but I was still able to buy this house with thin credit. So don't think just because you building up your credit with a secure credit card and you're going to have thin credit, if that's the only form of credit source that you have, that's a bad thing, because I still was able to go out and buy a property with thin credit. So to all my thin credit haters, oh well, I mean, shoot, I'm doing what I want to do, so it is what it is. But if you have car insurance, that counts as your credit as long as it's in your name. If you have utility bills in your name, if you have a car payment, a house payment, if you're paying a monthly lease on an apartment, that also counts as credit to your name. So don't think that you don't have credit if you have some of those things, because you are building credit right now. A secure credit card still will help though, because it's with the bank and it'll show that you're paying the bank back money over time. So that's personally how I built my credit. My credit is over a 700. When I bought this house, they ran my credit, and my credit was like a 752. So my credit had been running for a year and a half just with that secure credit card. And that, in less than a year and a half, y'all, I was able to get my credit to over a 700 credit score. In less than a year, I was able to get it over a 700. But in a year and a half, when I got this house, I was at a 752. And now I think when you buy a big purchase, it goes down a little bit, but then as I make these mortgage payments and I pay my utilities on time, it's gonna go back up, and hopefully I'll be in the 800s one day. So that's how I built my credit to over a 700 credit score in less than a year. All I used was a little secured credit card from the bank. I went to the bank, I put up $300 of my own money, and basically I charged $100 every month, and I paid it off at the end every month. So I would just like fill up the car with gas. I would, if I was going out to eat with my girl, I would charge that, but I would only spend $100, and that worked, y'all. $300 up, $300 up front, spend $100 every month, and then I paid it off at the end of every month. And in less than a year, over a 700, year and a half, a 750, and it enabled me to buy a house. So that's personally how I built up my credit. Credit is so important, y'all. Like I said, anything you want, whether it be a house one day, you want to finance a nice car one day, you want to finance a motorcycle one day, whatever the case is, you're going to need credit to do so. Unless you're going to come up with $30,000 cash, motorcycle $20,000 cash, whatever. But you can avoid that by building up your credit, and then you can go to the bank and say, hey, I want a loan for this, whatever the case is. You need credit, so go out and get yours, and hope it works for you. Thanks.